Something huge is happening in the UAE, and it's not what you might think. Away from the tourist hotspots, an industrial and logistics boom is quietly reshaping the entire nation. So let's dive into how they're pulling off this incredible transformation. Okay, let's just start with a number that is, well, it's pretty staggering. 225%. That's how much the demand for new industrial and logistics space shot up in the UAE in 2024. I mean, that's not just growth, that's an absolute explosion. So, what does a 225% jump actually look like? We're talking about a demand for over 40 million square feet of new space. That's just mind-boggling. It's like needing to build hundreds and hundreds of new football fields worth of warehouses. So you have to ask, right? What in the world is driving this? All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the boom on the ground. Then, the master plan behind it all. We'll explore the surprising global connection to Africa, check out the tech making it all work, and finally, we'll put all the pieces together. Okay, first up, the Great Warehouse Boom. And let me tell you, when you look at the real estate numbers, the phrase on fire doesn't even begin to cover it. And you know what's wild? It's not just about building new stuff. The fight for the space that's already there, it's intense. Warehouse rents in Dubai jumped by a third in a single year. And good luck finding an empty one. The vacancy rate is a tiny 3%. I mean, space is an absolutely massive deal right now. So who's snapping up all this space? Well, take a look. It's the big players, manufacturing and logistics. And that's super important, right? Because it tells you this isn't just about putting boxes on shelves. It's about building the whole shebang, an entire ecosystem for actually making things and then shipping them out fast. Okay, so we've got a market that is just absolutely white hot. But what lit the match? What's really behind all of this? Well, the answer starts right at home. This isn't some random economic boom. Oh no, this is all part of a very deliberate, very powerful national plan to kick the country's industrial sector into high gear. This is all happening by design. And right at the core of that plan is something called the National In-Country Value Program, or ICV for short. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it's a total game changer. Basically, they're making sure that money spent in the UAE stays in the UAE to build up their own industries. And the goals here are really ambitious. They want to build up their own local supply chains, pull in a ton of foreign investment, and, this is the big one, diversify their economy away from oil and create good jobs. You can see how every single one of those goals means you're going to need a lot more warehouses and factories. But this plan isn't just about what's happening inside the UAE. It's also about looking outward. And they're looking in a very specific direction: Africa. They're setting themselves up to be the essential link, the main bridge to this incredibly dynamic continent. And they're playing this game very differently than, say, China has. China's approach in Africa has hit some bumps. All the talk about debt and political strings. The UAE is coming in with a totally different playbook. They're all about flexible partnerships, investing in tech, and working together, not just funding huge projects with a lot of strings attached. And we are talking about serious, serious money here. In 2023 alone, Gulf countries, with the UAE leading the way, announced, wait for it, $53 billion in new investments across Africa. That is a massive strategic move with a ton of cash behind it. And here's why they can pull this off. They've already got the hardware. We're talking world-class futuristic airports and massive ports run by giants like DP World. They've already built the physical network to be that perfect middleman, connecting Africa to the rest of the globe. Okay, but a huge vision like this needs the right tools, right? You need the tech and the infrastructure to back it up. So let's look at how they're making all this happen. A huge piece of this puzzle is the Etihad Rail. Now, don't just think of this as a train. Think of it as the country's new backbone, a steel artery connecting absolutely everything, making the whole system run smoother and faster than ever before. The impact here is just transformative. It links up all 7 emirates and their 4 biggest ports. It's basically one giant conveyor belt for the entire country. For businesses, that means things get cheaper and faster. But it's also way better for the environment than trucking everything on the roads. And get this, they're aiming to move 60 million tons of stuff on this railway by 2030. That tells you everything. And it's not just about big trains either. Check this out. In one industrial zone, they built a hot metal road just for moving aluminum while it's still liquid. That's genius. It means they don't have to waste a ton of energy remelting it later.
It's a perfect example of being smarter, more efficient, and greener all at once.
All right, so let's pull all these threads together. We've got this crazy domestic boom, a big strategic pivot to Africa, and all this futuristic tech. So, what does it all add up to? What are they really building here for the 21st century? Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How do all these different layers, the local boom, the national plan, the global pivot, and all the tech, how does it all fit together to create this hub of the future? Well, we can already see the answer taking shape. We're seeing the rise of really specialized facilities like data centers and cold storage. We're also seeing this boom in what's called urban logistics, tiny warehouses inside cities so you can get packages super fast. Plus, sustainability isn't just a buzzword anymore. It's being built right in, and it's all stitched together by projects like the Etihad Rail. This is what a modern logistics hub really looks like. So when you step back and look at everything, the soaring rents, the billions going into Africa, the incredible new infrastructure, it becomes obvious. This story is about so much more than just buildings. What they're really building is the world's next great economic crossroads. They're using their location, their capital, and their vision to become the place where trade, tech, and logistics all meet. They're shaping how goods move around the globe, and maybe, just maybe, they're creating a blueprint for how other nations can build their own future.